Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, November 25. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has announced revised COVID-19 measures for December 1 to January 15, 2021. In Parliament Tuesday, Mr. Holness said curfew hours for Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and New Year's Day would be between 7 p.m. and 5 a.m. the following day. The regular curfew hours will be bumped up by an hour to 10 p.m. daily. The 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. restriction on movement will cover December 1 to 24, December 27 to 31, and January 2 to 15.
If December goes badly in terms of numbers, we cannot reopen schools. And that's the trade-off. If we don't maintain the protocols and we see where this becomes a threat, then we will have to even put in place even tighter curfew measures and tighter infection control measures, which could have even greater negative economic impact. So it really comes down to personal responsibility.
Prime Minister Holness says the public gathering limit will remain at 15 persons. Amendments are now being made to include a 15-person limit on private gatherings over the Christmas period. The ban on funerals, parties, and events remains in place. Mr. Holness also made a special appeal to Jamaicans in the diaspora.
If you don't have to travel, then don't travel at this period of time. But if you do decide to come, we will still welcome you, not necessarily with an embrace, but we will welcome you socially distant with an elbow or a namaste. And we expect that you will maintain the quarantine. Stay and celebrate within your household grouping. And enjoy the season and preserve the lives of our loved ones.
Parliament has approved an amendment to the Representation of the People Act to allow for the postponement of the local government elections. The elections, which were last held on November 28, 2016, were constitutionally due this year. But the new bill seeks to put off the elections up to February 27, 2022. In bringing the bill, Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie said the country was not in a position to hold the elections at this time.
The reality is that the financial constraints that the country is now experiencing, our citizens, Madam Speaker, wants us now to focus on the recovery from COVID-19 and the damage caused by rain so that they can return to a path of prosperity.
500,000 students at the primary, secondary, and tertiary levels are expected to benefit from the Microsoft 365 Education Software License free of cost. Education Minister Fayval Williams made the disclosure during Tuesday's sitting of the House of Representatives. She said the partnership with Microsoft was worth $2.1 billion annually.
The ministry will be distributing these licenses to our classroom teachers or principals, students at the secondary level, as well as students at our teachers' colleges, our community colleges, other multidisciplinary institutions, Edna Manley College for the Visual and Performing Arts, the College of Agriculture, Science and Education, G.C. Foster College, the Caribbean Maritime University, Nocalva Polytech, students in the equivalent of grades 10 to 13 at our independent schools, and children in our primary schools.
Microsoft Office 365 is a cloud-based platform which includes the full Office suite of Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, PC-only Publisher, and Access, as well as Teams, SharePoint, and Forms. Under the license, students will also be able to download Office Pro Plus to any of their home PCs and get access to the most current and secure version of the software. There's been a 37.2% reduction in the number of children reported missing between January and June of this year, when compared to the same period last year. Youth Minister Fayval Williams says between January and June, there were 323 fewer children reported missing when compared to the corresponding period of 2019. Of the 545 children reported missing in the period, 417 have been accounted for, while the rest are still missing.
Between January and June 2020, 354 families have been contacted. The Ananda Alert Secretariat continues to make contact with families as soon as they are notified of the child's disappearance. They also gather additional details surrounding the circumstances and the family's coping capacity. Continuous contact is maintained to provide support to the family during this time. However, should they require further in-depth social intervention, the case is referred to the respective regional director within the agency for their action.
And as government looks to the phased reopening of in-person school, Minister Williams says meetings are being held with the Ministry of Transport and private shuttle service providers. The talks should result in greater protection for children, including observation of the COVID-19 protocols as they journey to and from school. Prior to the closure of face-to-face classes, the ministry made provisions for 250 selected schools in 13 parishes to use the services of eligible transport operators to provide a shuttle transportation service for more than 7,500 students. Also in Parliament Tuesday, the Education Minister called on parents to make greater use of the offerings of the National Parenting Support Commission. The minister's appeal follows a recent surge in incidents of children being killed or harmed. According to Minister Williams, in many of these instances, adult supervision was absent.
Our National Parent Support Commission has an important role to play in assisting parents to develop the skills they need to raise and protect their children. They're playing a tremendous role in this regard. Yet too many parents are not availing themselves of the counseling and other services that are available to help them.
The National Parenting Support Commission has established 36 helplines that are being manned by competent persons who are trained in psychosocial first aid. Persons having difficulties getting through to any of the helplines may call the Commission directly at 876-560-9272. And finally, parliamentarians are being urged to condemn acts of violence against women and girls. The call comes from Gender Minister Olivia Grange as the island joins the rest of the world in observation of International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women and Girls today. Minister Grange has also condemned Sunday's gruesome murder of an 81-year-old grandmother and her 2 granddaughters at Trial Heights in St. Catherine. She says the Bureau of Gender Affairs has been dispatched to the community to provide support to the family. According to Minister Grange, there's a need to speed up the implementation process for the amended laws which give greater protection for vulnerable groups.
As a country, we feel distress and we sometimes despair when we hear of these brutal acts of violence. But we mustn't retreat and we must not surrender. And we cannot give in to the gunmen. This is when we must fight back stronger than ever. Fight back to the point where they have to retreat and not us.
This year's commemoration of International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women and Girls is being held under the theme, The Empowered Woman, from Victim to Survivor. The day also serves as the start of the 16 days of activism to end violence against women and children. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.